Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into Dick's Sporting Goods and let me tell you, they're making some big moves. It's like they decided to go on a shopping spree of their own. But are these moves a slam dunk or will they fumble? Let's find out. Before we get started, if you like breaking down company reports like this, be sure to subscribe. Also, come chat with other smart investors like yourself on our Discord channel, link in the description below. Alright, Dick's Sporting Goods just dropped an 8K filing. Think of this as a corporate announcement about some pretty significant events. This particular report tells us about a new credit line they've secured, the end of an old one, and a big step towards buying another company. First up, Dick's has a new revolving credit facility. Imagine this as a giant credit card for the company. They've entered into an agreement for $200 billion. That's a lot of money they can borrow if they need it. This credit line is set to mature in 2030, giving them about 5 years to use it. The interest they'll pay on what they borrow will depend on a couple of things, a base rate and their debt rating. A better rating means a lower interest rate. It's like getting a discount for being responsible with your money. They can pay back the loans whenever they want without getting charged extra, which is a nice perk. Also, they don't have required payments that they must fulfill, which is very convenient. There are some rules that Dick's has to follow with this credit line. These rules make sure they don't borrow too much money and stay in good financial shape. Now, with the new credit line in place, they've terminated their old credit agreement from January of 2022. They've paid off everything they owed under that agreement, so it's officially done. Out with the old, in with the new. Okay, this is where things get really interesting. Dick's is trying to buy Foot Locker. Yes, that Foot Locker, the famous shoe store. To help make this happen, they're offering to exchange Foot Locker's existing senior notes, which are basically IOUs, for new notes issued by Dick's. Basically, Dick's is saying, hey, if you have Foot Locker's debt, trade it to us and we'll give you our debt instead, plus a little extra. This is called an exchange offer. At the same time, they're asking for permission to make some changes to the rules around Foot Locker's notes. This is called a consent solicitation. The whole deal depends on whether they actually buy Foot Locker. It's all tied together. Scroll out copy of the press release is at ESE Exhibit 99.1 scroll. They even put out a press release about it, which is included in this report. So if you're interested in the details, you can check that out too. Dick's is giving us a sneak peek at what their financials might look like after buying Foot Locker. This is pro forma information, meaning it's based on some assumptions and estimates. It's not the real thing yet, but it gives you an idea of the potential impact. They're showing us the numbers for the fiscal year that ended in February, but adjusted as if they already owned Foot Locker. Dick's wants to make sure everyone knows that this isn't a sales pitch. They're not trying to get anyone to buy or sell anything right now. They're just giving information. Alright, let's dive into the possible financials that may exist if the deal happens. Remember, these are not real yet, but the filing includes the unaudited pro forma financial information of the company for the fiscal year. Ended February 1, 2025, which give effect to the acquisition on the basis described therein. The pro forma or hypothetical net sales would be over $14.5 billion, which is calculated as the sum of Dick's 2025 sales of over $12.9 billion, 5B net sales next year. The gross profit could reach around $42 to $40 billion with around 30.2% in profit margins. The net income attributable to Dick's Sporting Goods stockholders could reach around $777 million. Now, let's talk about the fine print. This report contains forward-looking statements which are basically predictions about the future, but these predictions are not guarantees. They're based on what the company knows right now, and things can change. There are risks involved in buying Foot Locker. Maybe they won't be able to work together effectively, maybe they won't save as much money as they expect, maybe something unexpected will happen. Scroll diversion of Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker's management's attention and time. From ongoing business operations scroll. The report mentions a lot of things that could go wrong, like the economy, competition, supply chain issues, cyber attacks, and even the weather. All these factors could affect how well Dick's and Foot Locker do in the future. If you're interested in learning more about the deal, Dick's will be filing more documents with the SEC, including a proxy statement. This document will have a lot of important information about the deal, so investors should read it carefully. The SEC requires them to disclose everyone involved in this deal, which will be contained in the proxy statement for people to make a calculated voting decision. Finally, the report is signed by Navdeep Gupta, the Chief Financial Officer of Dick's Sporting Goods. This means he's officially responsible for the information in the report. Now let's step back and look at the big picture. Dick's is clearly trying to grow by buying Foot Locker. This could be a good move if they can successfully combine the two companies. They've also secured a big credit line which gives them flexibility to invest in their business. However, there are risks. Buying another company is always a challenge and there's no guarantee that it will work out. Also, the economy is uncertain right now, which could affect consumer spending. Overall, Dick's seems to be in a strong position. They have a clear strategy, a solid financial foundation, and a willingness to take risks. However, investors should keep a close eye on how the Foot Locker deal progresses and how the economy performs. Alright, that's our breakdown of Dick's Sporting Goods' latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.